Hi everyone, welcome to this installment of the Advantech virtual update. And today we're once again going to be joined by Philip, Jacob and Celeste, our internal sales managers. So I just want to thank you guys for joining us again for this third time. And being part of what we're actually sort of trying to do to sort of get ourselves out there and get a bit more information to our customer base. For everyone out there, we've got a few things that we're going to be looking at today. It's going to be a short installment today of the virtual update. We're only going to be covering a few things. Once again, the usual round table discussion about what we're sort of seeing in the market over the last month. We're going to be looking at a few frequently asked questions from the market that we're going to take the opportunity right now to solve and hopefully explain some of those things to you. And most importantly, we're going to be looking at the closure dates for the Christmas period. So in terms of what we're seeing out there, Philip, you're the account manager for the Victoria region. What have you been noticing? What have you been seeing over the last few weeks around Melbourne and Victoria, especially with all of the changes that have been happening recently?
So thank you, Richard. Since Victoria government COVID-19 restrictions is relaxed and allow a quarter of employee from a company to work in office, I've seen a jump in phone calls either for tech support or sales inquiry, which means there are more activities from the industry. However, because we are approaching Christmas holiday, and I think the momentum will eventuate in the new year, as half of employees from private sectors are allowed to be back to office from now on.
Yeah, it's I think it's very, very interesting things that we're seeing from Victoria right now. Especially just locally, I've noticed that just getting outside, that there's a lot of different behaviour, but also seeing a lot of different things starting to change on the business side. Next up, Celeste. Now, Celeste is the account manager for Tasmania, New South Wales, as well as the ACT. Give us a little bit of insight into what you're seeing, and just unmute yourself over there, Celeste.
Thanks, Richard. So currently what I have seen is that after this post-COVID restrictions, market has been doing good now. We are getting enough inquiries from all these three states, Tasmania, Canberra and NSW. During COVID restrictions, we saw that the business got slowed down, but after these restrictions, the interest has been gained now. And I'm currently working on a few projects, and I'm sure that in the first quarter of next year, we'll be able to close these deals. So situation looks good, pretty good now.
Yep, that's actually really good to see. That's really good to see, especially with some of the things that are picking up and coming out of the woodwork. And finally, we've got Jacob. Now, Jacob, you're the account manager for Queensland, the Northern Territory, South Australia, and for Western Australia as well. Especially with some of the planes about to start touching down in Perth for the first time in about 200 days. What have you been seeing on your side?
Well, first, I'm looking forward to heading over to Perth for Christmas, so that'll be good. But overall, the pipeline has been very strong, consistently all year. Quite a lot of customers now are focusing on 2021, early 2021 projects, because obviously with about 2 weeks to go until we close up, which we'll get into more detail later, a lot of companies are now working on the scheduling for probably mid to late January. And obviously once areas such as Queensland and New South Wales start to really kick back up in their retail space, we'll definitely see an increase in market for those ones.
Really positive news there. Really positive news. I mean, I know that Queensland's been probably one of the stronger areas throughout the course of the year, but it's also really good to sort of see that changing and escalating focus into 2021. So, Jacob, thanks team. Thanks for the insights, about what's going on there. Let's have a look at some of the frequently asked questions that have been coming up over the last few weeks. Now, Celeste, one of the things that you've had come across your desk electronically has been a few inquiries relating to the differences between counting channels and digital inputs. Did you want to take a moment to explain the difference of what they are to the people who are going to be watching this?
Yeah, sure, Richard. So recently I have been asked by my customers what's the difference between counter inputs and digital inputs. So in a layman term, I would like to explain so that it would be easier for our customers to understand. So basically counter is a device which stores the number of times a particular event or process has occurred. Sorry, my kid is making noise.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we've had to sort of encounter a lot of this year, and I think that this is one of those signs of the way that things are going for the future. Yeah, that being said, with the 50% staff at the office, restriction, well, the easing of restrictions sort of coming into play, who knows? We could be seeing in 2021, we might be doing this, around the one table, socially distanced.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
look, it looks like things have sort of gotten a little bit under control on your side. You want to, give that explanation another crack there?
Yeah, I'll do it again. So counter is a device which basically stores the number of times a particular event or process has occurred. So what it basically does is that the module senses the pulse and adds or subtracts it to a counting register. So basically it increments or decrements the number in the counter. That is counter input module.
Yep.
So digital input signals are basically used to represent items that have only two states, such as on and off. So binary 1 and binary 0. So if in a layman term I have to give an example, is that digital signal is something like telling if a door is open or not.
Sure.
Either it is open or it is closed. So binary 1 and 0. So that's the difference between digital input and counter input.
Sure. And a counter would basically let you know exactly how many times that event has occurred as opposed to just what the event is.
Yep, that's true.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for that one, Celeste. I think that was a really, really good explanation. Now, the next thing that's apparently been coming up is, Philip, you've had a number of inquiries relating to touchscreens and activation around the touchscreens themselves for monitors and panel PCs. Would you be able to let our customers, let our audience know about what the process is to activate those?
So thank you, Richard. From time to time, I have customer told me that the touch function is not working after connecting to the new touch screen to a PC. Therefore, I think it is worthwhile to mention here that in order to enable the touch function of the screen to work, a driver needs to be installed. So first of all, please go to Advantech portal and key in the product code in the search field, then click on the Documents and Downloads button where driver for the related Windows OS could be found. So first of all, please make sure to select the driver which match your main machine Windows OS version. And secondly, before you install the driver, please connect the HMI screen to your main machine via either RS-232 or USB port. Pretty much that's the simple procedures people have to follow to activate the touch function of the screen. Yeah.
Awesome. So just to sort of summarize that, the first step would be to make sure we've got the model number for the screen. Go to the website, get the driver that matches the operating system, install the software, making sure that the touchscreen cable, if it's a monitor, is connected, and then do the calibration. So thanks a lot to Philip for that explanation there. That takes care of the FAQs that we've noticed coming from the market over the last few weeks. So as mentioned earlier, this is a shorter presentation this month. We've just got the final, probably most important thing for 2020 to be talking about here, and that is our closure dates. So Advantech will be closing for the Christmas break on midday on the 23rd. So anytime after 12 o'clock on the 23rd, we will be closed. Advantech will be reopening as of the 11th of January, 8:30 in the morning on that day. So there's going to be around about that 2.5 weeks downtime period. Probably the most important thing for all of you out there is the last shipment date from the Melbourne office. Now, that date there is currently unofficially the 21st of December. So considering that we wrap up on the 23rd, the 21st is the last day that trucks will be leaving our warehouse and getting goods out to the customer base across the country there. Anything after that time will probably need a bit more specific advice from your account managers. So if you don't remember who was who at the start of this installment of the virtual update, by all means, please make sure that you send an email through to info@advantech.net.au, and then we'll make sure that email gets to the right person so that you can get not only any sort of quotes, but also the logistics advice for that. So with that, I would like to thank everyone for giving their insight today. I want to thank Celeste, Philip, and Jacob for their time and giving the information that they have seen in their markets today. If there are any questions or comments in anything that we've covered today, please, by all means, email us at info@advantech.net.au or leave something in the comments below. And most importantly, I hope that this was helpful and that we'll hopefully see you earlier in the new year in January in 21. Whether we do this in the same way or whether we're all in the same room is yet to be decided, but hopefully we'll see you in the new year. All right. Thanks for your time, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. Happy Christmas and New Year in advance to everyone.